Hello friends, welcome back to the tutorial language fundamentals. This will be the second tutorial from the series of language fundamentals. The first one we covered is identifiers. Okay, so let's start with reserved words. So what are reserved words? So in any language we have some reserved words. Okay, so if you say in plain language, plain English language, cat, fruit, cow, car, sleep, these are nothing but some reserved words which will specify some specific functionality to identify some actions or some animals, some fruit, whatever, right? In cat, we get to know what type of animal we are speaking. Then if we are talking about sleep, then it's an activity which every human being does. So that's how it is. Similarly, in Java, we have some reserved words which will be used for their some specific actions like if, else, for, then, do, while, and then many more. So we'll get to know each of the reserved words in later uh, slides. So let's start. Okay. So how many words are reserved in Java? So in Java, we have total 53 words, reserved words. Okay. So we will be going to um, check what are those 53 words and why those are reserved and what are those basically. So let's start. Okay, so before we start, we need to understand how these reserved words are basically, we can say bifurcated, or we can say we can distinguish in between them. So there will be two broader categories in those, in that. For 50, there will be 50 keywords in Java, and then there will be reserved literals, which is of number 3. Okay, then there are in the keywords itself, then there will be used keywords. That means we are actively using in our day-to-day programming language in Java. And then there are two unused keywords. Those are inherited from our old language like C++, but those are no more being used in, those are no more actively used in current actively used, we can say. Okay. So let's go to next slide. Okay, so to give an overview of all 53, this is the list of reserved Java keywords we have in Java. Okay, so you can just read through. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, so this slide is important, guys. So I have created this slide to give you an overview how those 53 keywords are basically uh, scattered in between Java. Like what are those? So I have grouped them logically so that it will be easy to understand. So first type is of data type. So we have 8 reserved keywords for data type, like byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, and char. Then there will be 11 keywords for flow control. When we say flow control, we all know that in Java we have some loops, some conditions, which will control some flows in the programming language. So that's those keywords like if, else, then switch is there. In the switch itself, then case will be there, default will be there. Then we again have while, do while, then for loop is there. In the for loop, we use break, continue, and return. So this will be 11 keywords which we can say are used for flow control. Then similarly, we have 11 modifiers. Okay, so when we write a Java code, we use different modifiers. Those are 11 modifiers are reserved keywords in Java. So like public, private, protected, then static, final, then abstract, synchronized, native, strict FP, transient, and volatile. Okay, and there are also some uh, resort keywords for exception handling. So we all know that in Java we do exception handling with the help of these keywords try, catch, finally, throw, throws, and assert. Then there are some keywords related to class. So like class is itself a resort keyword. Then interface, extends, implements, package and import. Those all are resort keywords. Those are related to class. So that's why I have grouped them um, in a different section. Okay, then there will be few which will be related to object, like how we create the object, how we use the object. So new keyword is used for creating a new object. Then instance of, to get an instance of any already created object. Then super will, we are going to study this in later sections, but for now you can consider that these are four keywords, those are related to object. Then there is one more keyword for return type, which is a void. Then unused keywords, as I already said, go to and const. Then one more keyword is, that is the enum. Okay, so let's go to next slide. So let's understand why we do have that unused keywords. So go to. So I guess if you have learned or studied C, C++ language, we used to have go to keyword in that. Go to keyword itself created so many problems in old languages like C, C++, and that's the reason this keyword is banned in Java. Okay, so you cannot actively use the go to keyword in Java nowadays, but it's still a keyword and you cannot use it as an identifier, as we learned in a first tutorial. Okay, then second one is const. Okay, so the purpose of const to define something as a constant, but for defining something as a constant we already have another keyword, that is final, in our Java program. So that's why this is also became one of the unused keyword and no more actively used nowadays. Okay, so let's understand the enum keyword. Okay, an enum is a special class actually in a Java that represents a group of constants, which is also unchangeable variables like final variables. But sometimes we need to give a different grouping for some objects, like let's say day. So we all know that there are going to be only 7 days in a week. So we can create an enum so that it will be easy to fetch those days whenever we need. So it solely depends on our conditions, our programming conditions, how we want to use and why we are using enum instead of creating other different variables. Okay, so the one prettiness of this enum is that you're storing seven values in one enum called day, and you can refer at any time. So if you want to, so if you have to let's say refer Sunday, so what you just need to do, you just need to write the enum name, that is day. Okay, and dot, and just a name of that enum given in the declaration section. So you just need to write down Sunday. That's it. Please note that all the um, enum declarations will be in capital. So if you see enum day, enum level, all are written in capital, and those will be called with the dot, enum name dot the value, and it will fetch that value. Okay. Then reserved literals. So there are three reserved literals. The first two are true and false, are nothing but the uh, values for Boolean data type. So if you are declaring any variable as Boolean, so it is going to have only two types of values, either true or false. Then null. Null is you normally be used as a default value for object reference. Okay, so most of the times we get null pointer exception because there is no object reference available. So it's a null. Okay, thank you guys. I guess that's it for today's session or today's tutorial. If you have any further queries, questions, leave in comment section and I'll try to answer those. If you want to refer earlier tutorial that is for identifiers, I'm going to put the link in a description and you can easily go to that. That's it for today. See you again in next video. Thank you. Bye.